Hello, everybody. I'm here in front of my vintage case, and you might notice there's some holes in it. That's because today is episode 2 of Best of Eddy's Cardboard Chaos 2024 Vintage. I'm really excited to bring you these pickups. I had a great vintage year and really had a hard time narrowing it down to top 10. But let's check it out. I failed to mention something earlier that bears repeating. I do these based on my own ratings on just how much I enjoy having the card in my collection, how excited I am to have it, how hard it would be to replace, those kind of things, not monetary value. I don't judge my cards that way. So you're going to see cards in the middle of the stack that might be more valuable than the one at the number 1 spot. I don't know. I don't keep track. I don't see cards that way. So speech over, believe it or not. First card, number 10, of course, is a 73 Topps Ruth Aaron Mays. I believe John Mangini said this is his favorite all-time card. I have a 73 Topps set that's almost complete, and it really bothered me that the first spot on that binder was empty all these years. So I made it a point to go get this one. I only need one other really big card, the Ron Say rookie for the set, and the rest are, $10 or under, depending on condition. And I'm definitely going to be wrapping that up here in 2025. At number 10, at number 9, this was a national acquisition. It's a Jesse Haynes. Is it 560 or 660? 560. John would know. And this is for the Knuckleball collection. And when I have a collection like Knuckleball collection or Washington State collection or Glory of Their Times collection, I don't want every card to be the same. I don't want them all to be Gaudies or T206s. I love that there's variety and some kind of craziness to the collection, especially if it represents the era in which these cards or strips or whatever were produced. And this is no example, but Jesse Haynes is one of just four Knuckleball Hall of Fame pitchers. And if you look him up, he's kind of a friends on the committee kind of induction. He'd probably be, if you had to kick people out based on their merit, he'd probably be toward the top of the list. I mentioned just now the Glory of Their Times collection, something that grew decently last year. I do look to add to it in 2025, but it's going to wait until after I get some big fish autographs. But I was happy to add Sweet Cap Tommy Leach. And a lot of us have heard YouTubers talk about even wear. And this card's a very definition of even wear. All the borders are worn evenly, and it's even got kind of a dirt film on it. It doesn't give it a brilliance, but it does give it a beautiful vintage look. And that's what I like about it. I mean, this looks like a vintage baseball card. And I wouldn't swap it out for, value being equal for one that looked like it came out of a pack or a reprint. Like I said, value being equal, I wouldn't trade that because I love the look of it. It just looks like a vintage card. My very last purchase of the National, about an hour before I left, was another Glory of Their Times get, and that was Al Bridwell. And I was happy to get an NL 205 because I only had an AL. So it'll be the first one I have with this design, Piedmont back. And it's a real nice card. I got a pretty good deal on it, I thought. And just love the color, the gold border. Such a beautiful set. I don't think it's appreciated by others as much as it's appreciated by me. That's fine. You don't have to like my stuff, but I like my stuff. And I like this card. We are up to number 6. And this was an upgrade. I got at the Washington State Convention for just $20. I figure cost of grading, upgraded copy of this for my players from Washington State, one of just 3 Hall of Famers from Washington State. And it was a no-brainer. No-brainer. And I don't chase rookie cards. A lot of you know that. But this is an example of a rookie card I would like. It's a great pose. It's got the trophy. And it's relevant to my existing collection. So really happy with the Santo at number 6. Number 5 is a twofer because I got them both at the National. They're from the same set, and they fell right in the middle of these vintage acquisitions for me. Set I look to add to this year, particularly at the National, because I did see a lot of them. I just had my focus elsewhere. But I did get the Ralph Kiner and Doak Walker Wheaties cards. So this is a twofer. This is number 5. And something about the orange color and something about Wheaties connects me to my dad a little bit because that's what I watched him eat every morning for a couple decades. And anytime you were doing a task and maybe didn't have enough strength, my dad would say, "You should have had more Wheaties." So Wheaties, and I don't have a lot of baseball connections with my dad, but this is one little one. And like I said, there's something about that orange for me. And I love the illustration style on these. And really excited to get these. The Kiner was $15, so cost of grading for all intents and purposes. The Walker I paid more for. I paid $25. It was ungraded, sent it in myself, and got the grade on it of a 4. Really doesn't matter really what the number is. I just liked it because it was so sharp, and I could tell whoever cut that one out did it with care, which is meaningful to me too. Number 4, another National pickup. Like a lot of these are, it's most of my years, most of my budget goes to the National. So, of course, you would see more National stuff. And I went looking for 4 big cards, and I always wanted a card from the set. Ended up finding one perfectly for the Glory of Their Times collection, Goose Goslin, and was really excited to get this and still really excited to own it. And love that set. I'm still interested in someday adding the Mickey Cochran, which was the other one that I was looking for. Didn't quite pick it up. Here was another one of the big 4 that I was after, and only saw one when I was in Atlantic City and saw a bunch in Cleveland. But Ranger Studios had to give me a hard time for buying a NYY card, of course, which I'll happily take. But I love last cards if they have full career stats, which I actually made a database I might share with you of players that have Hall of Famers, Topps flagship cards with full stats. So in other words, had Mantle played in 69 and then didn't have a 70, it would not be a card I would add to that collection. The PSA database doesn't specify with full stats. And to me, that's important just because of the connection I have with my brother. Number 2, it was really hard not to put this at number 1, but I put it at number 2. I won a 60 Topps Willie Mays in a whatnot $8 set break spot, and graded it, got a 5, flipped it, and then added about $50 and walked away with this 55 Bowman Willie Mays from a local card shop and was excited about it. Really excited. It worked out just the way I wanted. I got the 60 in the mail, and I just thought it's just one of those cards about 60 on where Topps has him making weird faces or blinking, or they're using the same photo, or he doesn't have a hat. I thought, I need to add a Mays to my collection, but I want him smiling or making a normal face. And I would love to get him in a New York hat. And I circled on a couple things that were cheaper, but wouldn't like as much as this. And I rallied the troops and got the extra money, and everything just worked out perfectly. to get this gorgeous card of Willie, one of the greats that we lost in 2024. And really proud to have that card in my collection. Number one. Convention pickup again. Again, one I was looking for in Atlantic City, didn't really see. Saw a lot more in in Cleveland. Had been on my want list for a long time, many years, and it just had to be the right copy at the right time. And I made a beeline for Chapel's table when I hit the convention floor. And within 5 minutes, after I got distracted by a couple people, I had purchased the mantle, which I had wanted for a long time, and the 49 leaf Wagner. There he is as an old man, as a coach, taking a big old dip. Kids, don't chew. It's not good for you. A lot of things I love about this card. I love the colors. I love the subject. I love that he's taking a dip, which belies the notion that he wanted his tobacco card pulled because he was concerned about kids. And I've had a lot of great conversations with people about this card. In Atlantic City, right when I met, I kind of like Al, I told him I was after this card. And he pulled his up on his phone, and we had a 5-minute conversation about why this is such a great card. And so even just that memory adds to the allure of having the Wagner. And I'm happy to have that, and I'm happy to have all these cards. I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I liked making it and getting the cards, of course. If you could pick any of those cards for your PC, which one would you add? And maybe you can in 2025, who knows? We have one more of these. It is going to be best TTMs, easily my weakest category, which helps me kind of goal set for this year to step up my TTM game. But it should be fun anyway, so tune in for that. And until next time, remember, we don't count subscribers, we count friends.